In Java, you often have multiple threads running at the same time to speed up processing. But a problem arises when two or more of those threads try to read and modify the exact same piece of shared memory simultaneously. This animated diagram breaks down why that happens. We might think a simple command like count ++ happens instantly. In reality, the CPU has to perform three distinct steps. It reads the current value, increments that value by 1, and then writes the new value back to memory. If only one thread is operating, it reads the 0, adds 1, and writes a 1 back to the shared resource. The process is clean and sequential. But if two threads execute this command simultaneously, they might both read the baseline 0 at the exact same time. They both increment to 1 locally. Then they both write their new values back, overwriting each other. Instead of counting two operations, the final stored value is only 1. The update from one of the threads is entirely lost. In Java, we call this a race condition. Because the final outcome depends on the unpredictable timing of thread execution, any data handled this way cannot be trusted. Java's synchronized keyword fixes this. Applied to a method, it enforces a one-at-a-time rule. Thread 1 enters and secures an exclusive lock. Thread 2 hits a wall, entering a blocked state, sitting idle until thread 1 exits and releases the lock, allowing thread 2 inside. Imagine a method with 100 lines of code. 99 lines just read data or perform local math. Only one single line actually modifies the shared counter. Does it make sense to lock the entire method? Forcing threads to wait for code that doesn't need protection destroys the advantages of multithreading. A fully synchronized method creates a severe bottleneck. We fix this bottleneck with a synchronized block, wrapping only the count ++ command. Multiple threads execute the unlocked portion simultaneously. Thread 1 locks this tiny critical section using a monitor object, usually this. Thread 2 waits a millisecond at the boundary until the lock releases. Narrowing the scope of the lock down to a single line eliminates the race condition, while keeping the rest of the application running at maximum speed. Locking code is a strict requirement when dealing with shared data, but it introduces structural consequences that you have to design your systems around. This matrix breaks down the trade-offs. On the left, advantages: absolute thread safety and guaranteed data consistency, entirely eliminating race conditions. On the right, the primary disadvantage is slower performance. Locks force threads into blocked states, waiting in a queue. The ultimate risk is deadlocks. If thread A holds a lock thread B needs, and thread B holds a lock thread A needs, both freeze permanently. Take a look at this cheat sheet. We've covered the physical mechanics of shared resources and race conditions, the tools to fix them, synchronized methods and synchronized blocks, and the goals of synchronization and thread safety. Writing concurrent Java applications requires recognizing exactly when data must be locked and when threads should be left to run free. In our next lesson, we will shift focus to databases with an introduction to JDBC.